The monitors hummed quietly in room 312 of St. Mary's Medical Center as Dr. Emily Carter studied the chart at the edge of Jonathan Reed's bed. Advanced pancreatic cancer, stage 4, only a few weeks left. The 78-year-old retired wildlife biologist had declined further treatment days earlier, choosing comfort care and, in his words, a farewell on my own terms. What Dr. Carter never expected was the phone call she'd receive the next morning, one that would defy everything she thought she knew about medicine and the natural world. "This isn't just unusual, Mr. Lewis," she said into the receiver, pushing her glasses up nervously. "It's completely against hospital policy. What you're asking is impossible." "I know how it sounds, Doctor," replied Samuel Lewis, director of Greenwood Wildlife Refuge. "But please understand, Jonathan isn't just our founder. For decades, he rescued and raised orphaned big cats. One of them is Leo, a lion he bottle-fed from infancy. Their bond is unlike anything you can imagine. You're asking me to allow a full-grown lion into a hospital ward," Dr. Carter said flatly. "Leo is 21, Lewis interrupted gently. "That's elderly for his species. He's fully vaccinated, constantly monitored, and has never shown hostility toward humans. But since Jonathan's hospitalization, he refuses to eat. He paces day and night, calling out for him. Our veterinarian fears he won't last much longer." Dr. Carter hesitated. "It's still a wild predator." "With respect," Lewis said firmly, "Jonathan has only days left. This is his final request. We've arranged everything with security and administration. 4 senior handlers will be present. We'll bring Leo in through the service corridor at 2 a.m. No public exposure. We've secured insurance and liability waivers. Please let him say goodbye." Later that night, Dr. Carter stood frozen as 4 handlers carefully guided a calm lion into the dim hospital room. Despite her years of emergency medicine, nothing prepared her for the sight. The huge animal's golden eyes locked instantly onto the frail man in the bed. Jonathan stirred, opened his eyes, and managed a weak smile. "Leo," he whispered, extending a trembling hand. "You came." What followed stunned everyone present. The lion stepped forward, slow and deliberate. Instead of aggression, he lowered his massive head into Jonathan's palm, then carefully climbed halfway onto the bed, curling against the old man's chest with extraordinary gentleness. Jonathan stroked his mane, tears streaming down his face. "My boy," he murmured. "My beautiful boy." The handlers exchanged bewildered looks. Even they had never seen Leo behave this way. Dr. Carter's clipboard slipped forgotten from her hands. "Jonathan found him as a cub," Lewis explained softly beside her. "Poachers killed his mother. The cub had parasites, was starving, and his leg was shattered. Any other expert would have put him down, but Jonathan nursed him back, fed him every 2 hours, slept on the floor beside him until he healed." For 2 hours, Leo never left Jonathan's side. Each time the old man drifted into sleep, his hand instinctively sought the lion's mane, needing to feel him close. Surprisingly, Jonathan's vitals stabilized. His blood pressure even improved. A calmness filled the room, heavy and undeniable. By dawn, it was time to return Leo to the refuge. But before leaving, Jonathan asked Lewis to retrieve an envelope from the bedside drawer. Inside was a notarized document transferring him to hospice care at his cabin inside the sanctuary. "I don't want my last days here," Jonathan said, fingers buried in Leo's mane. "I want to go home." 3 days later, Dr. Carter rode in the ambulance that carried him to Greenwood Refuge, a 200-acre sanctuary Jonathan had dedicated his life to. His modest cabin had already been fitted with medical equipment, hospice staff, and a special passage connecting directly to Leo's enclosure. That evening, when safety gates opened, Leo padded silently into the cabin. The great cat walked straight to Jonathan's bed, pressed his head gently against the man's chest, and released a soft chuff, a sound of affection lions make only when utterly at ease. From then on, Leo never left. Day after day, night after night, he curled protectively against Jonathan. Nurses noted that both man and lion seemed healthier in each other's presence. On the 10th night, Jonathan's breathing grew shallow. "It's time," he whispered. With trembling hands, he stroked Leo's mane. The lion lifted his head and began to vocalize softly. Not a roar, but low, melodic sounds that carried sorrow. Jonathan exhaled a final, peaceful breath, his hand falling still. Dr. Carter moved to confirm death but froze as Leo laid his head gently against his friend's chest, remaining there in silent vigil. Hours passed before the lion finally retreated to his enclosure, allowing the team to tend to Jonathan's body. In the months that followed, documentaries and journals captured the extraordinary story. Leo lived another year, often gazing for hours at the bed where his companion had taken his last breaths. When he too passed away peacefully at age 22, he was buried beneath the oak tree outside the cabin, exactly where a tiny, broken cub had once looked up at the man who would become his protector and lifelong friend.